Hello, let's not waste any time. Been a week, or maybe a little more since I did another race. I'd like to get 3 done this weekend because Chicago is going to be easy, which is weird because you guys saw how I struggled at Kansas. But for some reason, I'm good at Chicago. The next race after this is Daytona, and then I think it's New Hampshire. So we got 3 good races. My plan is to do 3 races this weekend. Get rolling through this. God, NASCAR seasons are so long. Like, it's so fucking long to play through a damn season. 36 races. And even when we're not doing full races, it feels like I'm pulling teeth sometimes to do this. But I just watched the Xfinity race at Richmond tonight. Christopher Bell won. It was a really good race. Not as good as Bristol, but still really good. Hey, NASCAR, you know how the race didn't have any Cup drivers in it last week or this week? Yeah, you should probably keep doing that because I think we're all enjoying it. But anyway, green flag. It's a good thing I didn't do this a few days ago because all I would have been doing was I would have been bitching about what a choker Kyle Larson is as I forced my way to the bottom. Because that was such a bummer. Kyle Larson had a race, had Bristol won. It just gave it away. Stupidly gave it away. You come down on me. Woo. You go down here like everybody and their grandmother does here. Yeah, I'll show you after the race. We're playing on 100 difficulty, which is like my standard for 1.5 mile racetracks. But for some reason, Homestead and Kansas are just a bitch, but I'm really good at Chicago, so what can you do? I don't know why, because this place is very similar to Kansas and I drive it the same way, but at Kansas we were so slow. Could barely hold the lead. Basically had to be a dirty son of a bitch to win. But you saw when I got my opportunity, I wasn't going to let it pass by the wayside. Can you get out of my way, please? I'm barely touching these guys. And sometimes you'll barely touch them and they'll give you a little bit of damage, so I'm like really nervous. Whoops. You going to wreck sometime today? Jesus Christ. My bad. That was my bad. Damn it. I cannot run a clean race to save my life. And I wasn't even trying. I was forcing the issue, but damn. He drifted for like that whole turn. Are you going to slide up out of the way and save it and keep going, or are you just going to spin out against the wall? No, he just kept fucking coming down. Oh, Jesus. Sorry about that, everyone. Barely touched him. He was running so damn low going into that corner. I was not about to just give him a break. Somebody runs that low. If somebody runs that damn low, they're just being an asshole. Woo. I gave Jimmy Johnson a break there. Still about to touch him. I gave Johnson a huge break there. I could have just drove right in there and went for it, but I would have just run right into the back of him, so. Hey, Kyle Larson gave me room. Kind of like he gave Kyle Busch room. Uh-oh, I got really tight. He's going to pass me back. Why don't you just go ahead and choke like you did Monday? I can't get clear to get to the bottom, so this is a pain in the ass. But that's about as good as I've ever come off the high side on a 1.5 mile racetrack off the corner, and I'm going to clear his ass getting into 1 now. Eee! And now we're going to set sail, but don't worry, we'll lose spots on pit road and have to do it all over again. Plenty of more chances to wreck William Byron. I swear it was an accident. I hope everybody's doing well. Still waiting on that new Friday the 13th update that's never coming. That's my best lap here. That was not a bad lap I just ran. For my standard, God, this car's tight. I don't know how I'm good here, but so bad at Kansas. They're the same racetrack. There's just a curve in the backstretch here. Is that the difference, NASCAR? Whatever the fuck your fucking name is, the company that makes this pile of shit. Does a little curve in the backstretch make that much of a difference? I can't figure out how to get through turn one, but whatever, we're doing something right. We're driving away. Standard. We are on 100. Like I said, that's what I run almost mile and a half, right at 100. Maybe a little more, like I do at Charlotte and Atlanta. I remember in NASCAR Heat Evolution, I was bad at Kentucky, but wait till we race Kentucky. I'm good at Kentucky in this game for some reason. There's a 25% race. No need to do a 50% here when it's this damn easy. I would never make you sit through that. Of course, nobody sits through these. Yeah, Kyle Larson's choke job for the ages this past Monday was quite the sight to behold. I was like, you know, it was a great Bristol race, one of the best Bristol races I've ever seen. But I was like, way to just put a damper on it. I was pulling for you big time. And it wasn't even just because of Kyle Busch. I like Kyle Larson. I want Kyle Larson to win a lot of races. And then he has one like that and he just gives it away. He started overdriving into the corner for no damn reason at all. It's like, dude, just pace yourself. And if he gets to you, then you start fucking searching. You can't make a mistake and let Kyle Busch get to you. Don't let a mistake be the reason why he gets to you. I know that's hard to say. That's armchair quarterbacking because I'm not driving the damn car, but still. I understand feeling the pressure when you finish second to a guy like 3 times at the same racetrack. It gets pretty... He'd be in my head, probably. It was nice to see an old, clean Bristol bump and run. Denny Hamlin, that's how you do it. I got to give Kyle Busch credit, you know. Speaking of Kyle Busch, if you haven't listened to it already, listen to the Dale Jr. download episode with Kyle Busch. It was a really, really good podcast. It was Dale Jr., Kyle Busch, and Mike Davis sitting around talking about, you know, the relationship between Dale and Kyle over the years and how it's changed and how they didn't like each other and how they now like each other. It's a real good listen. It really is. I really enjoy it. I might listen to it. It was so good, I might listen to it again. If you're not even a fan of Kyle or Dale, you need to listen to it. If you're just a NASCAR fan, it's really intriguing to hear some of the stories they told and how basically a series of coincidental misunderstandings led to Kyle and Dale Jr. not being really good friends for a long time. They really didn't like each other very much. It was mostly Jr. not liking Kyle, it turns out, because Kyle actually said he wanted to be Jr.'s friend, but Jr. just wouldn't have anything to do with it. And Kyle said he was bitter about getting booted from Hendrick. And it wasn't necessarily that it was Junior. He just said if you drove for Hendrick, he didn't like you. He had a chip on his shoulder about you. Good God, did we really get this big of a lead? If I bumped the difficulty up to like 102, I bet they would be on my ass right now, and it would be Kansas all over again, and I'd be in hell. Of course, the only reason I got in the lead this fast is because William Byron kind of wrecked himself off the front of my car. I'm going to blame that on him. I'll have to watch after the race, go back and see what happened there. Because I swear I didn't mean to wreck him. He just kind of turned down like I wasn't there. He tried like hell to save it. He slid about 100 yards, it seemed like, dead sideways. He gave us a slight bit of damage. We'll get that fixed up here when we give up all this track position in the pits. Uneventful stage one, other than that screw up of William Byron. You know, these mile and a halves are not very exciting. I've still got to stream a 100% race somewhere, but I don't know if it'll be a cup race. I've been thinking about running a truck race at Canadian Tire and doing that 100% length to get the trophy. Took all the wedge out. Oh. We can make it from here. I don't know. You know what? I probably should have stayed out and then pitted. Good God, 26. I should have stayed out here and then pitted after stage 2 is what I should have done. But whatever. Let's try not to kill ourselves on the way back to the front. Oh, this game perfectly set me up to do that. I'm in a real awkward position because I can't get to the damn bottom because of Ty Dillon. Please don't do what William Byron did. I wonder why the AI doesn't go down there. Whoa, I went really low there. That was awkward. Made good time though. God, when I see this right here, I have no choice. I'm like, oh, I got to get in there. He's leaving the door open. I'm aggressive. Aggressive goes around. Wonder how many rivals I'd have in the season. Probably a shit ton, just based on Kansas alone. Kansas and Bristol. Oh, wow. See, that's what I'm talking about. They just come down on you and then spin themselves out. Oh, yeah, he got a great run off the corner. If that had been me, I would have lost like half a second just from getting touched. I mean, really. See how many laps are left at the end of this segment. That was a damn good lap. Car's turning a lot better since I took that wedge out, and that's helping. Both didn't turn worth a shit there, as you can see. Pushed up off the corner. Wow, he didn't totally come down on me. That's the act of a champion right there. Martin Truex is a real champion. Now, I got to say, after listening to Kyle on Dale Jr.'s podcast, I like Kyle a lot better now. I'm still not a big Kyle Busch fan. I'm never going to be a big Kyle Busch fan just because of who he is as a person. It was nice to hear somebody like Jr. just say, yeah, I didn't like you because you're a douchebag. But Jr. was really honest about what he thought about Kyle for so long. And I'm like, see, that's why people don't like him. It's not the stupid narrative of people don't like him because he wins a lot. It's like, no, he's just a dickhead. I mean, fuck Jimmy Johnson. When he was winning a lot, I didn't hate Jimmy Johnson. I defended Jimmy Johnson. People just don't like Kyle Busch because he's a shithead. That's why. It's like when Kyle won Pocono last year, Rick Allen was saying, oh, people just don't like him because he wins. That's not the case. That's a really annoying narrative. They think, oh, if you don't like somebody and they're winning races, you just don't like them because they're winning. Fuck off. I like Martin Truex Jr. I've always liked Martin Truex Jr. That'll never change. Why don't we say that, oh, people don't like Dale Jr. because he won a lot of races in 2004? Is that when the junior hate started? Because he had a really good year? You know, just to make this interesting for you guys and to keep me from pulling my hair out at the end of the race, I'm probably going to pit again. Since I'm very, very confident I can get back up here. And to make it more interesting for you guys, because God, this is dull. Talladega's next week, clusterfuck racing. Woo! Hopefully the Richmond Cup race will be worth watching. Can't be any worse than some of the mile-and-a-half tracks we've run this year. But we know Talladega, for better or worse, will be interesting next week. And an Xfinity race at Talladega with no Cup drivers. That is interesting. That's actually really neat. I don't think have they done Dash for Cash at Talladega before? I really don't think they have. Or if they did, it was before they said, yeah, no Cup drivers allowed. Hey, I got a great idea. Why don't we make every Xfinity race this season Dash for Cash so Cup guys can't be in it? How about that? Everybody on board with that idea? I'm gonna call Cameron tomorrow, see what the fucking deal is with my computer. I'm sure it ain't been fixed. But whatever, my new phone is hooked up to my Wi-Fi now. And I've been using it like a computer. It's been really useful. Speaking of which, I just got a Facebook message, but I'm not checking that right now. I'm not checking that until this race is over, so. I'll check it at the end of the stage, and depending on who it's from, will determine whether or not I answer. I still probably should have stayed out at the end of stage 1 and then just pitted after stage 2, but we're going to pit after stage 2 any damn way. Just for shits and giggles. And because these tires are wearing, and I don't want to take any chances. If I'm good enough to lead like this and get through traffic as good as I did, I can pit. And it's no biggie. Hopefully. Hopefully this doesn't, like, come back to bite me in the ass. Like things have a tendency to do in video games, especially when I'm streaming stuff. Every damn game I play. That Xfinity race tonight was really good. No, I really thought Gragson was going to win, and then with about 5 or 6 to go, I felt like Gragson should have just kept running what he was running to stay with him close enough to move him out of the way on the last lap. But he started searching around. He started going higher in the corner and higher through the center and not getting as good a run into the corner. And then he was kind of doing a mix of both. He went back to the bottom, but then in 3 and 4, he'd be in the middle again. And he just started losing ground. I felt like he should have just stayed what he was doing when he got to his back bumper and then was one to go. If you can get into a corner and hit him, obviously don't wreck him, but use the bumper if you have to get him out of the way. But I guess he wanted to be noble about it, and he started searching around. I'm like, you're an idiot, what are you doing? That's not why you caught him. You should stick to how you caught him and then just stay with him and see what happens. Would have been really interesting. They're like, oh, the last guy to win an Xfinity race in their first career Xfinity start was Kurt Busch in 2006. I'm like, oh, really? Kurt Busch, 4 years into his Cup career, wins his first Xfinity start ever. Good for him. What an accomplishment after he'd already won a Cup championship. That was funny. But yeah, I was really impressed tonight by Noah Gragson and Jeremy Clemens. I usually don't talk much about the Xfinity race because I do these on Sundays or in the middle of the week when I stream these. But since I just watched that race tonight, it's fresh in my mind. So thumbs up to Noah Gragson. That was really impressive. Karma, as much as I like Daniel Hemrick, he got karma'd for what he did to Allgaier for no reason early in the race, putting him in the wall. Austin Cindric slamming Ryan Truex out of the top 10 on the final lap of a stage because, Cindric just needed those owner's points, I guess. Fucking idiot. I hate Austin Cindric. I think I might dislike Austin Cindric more than I dislike the Dillon brothers. They're all cut from the same cloth, so whatever. The tire's looking Billy. My imaginary crew chief, I call him Billy. And I think we're going to pit for tires and just to make it fun. Talladega. My only hope about Talladega next week is that nobody gets hurt. And that Ryan Blaney wins. Yeah, let's pit. I'll come from the back. I don't give a shit. I can get there in 20 laps. They'll catch lap traffic in about 18 to 20 laps anyway. I don't know why I'm going to the outside. I'm not going to be able to pass anybody up here, probably. I'm an idiot. I got that sucker wound up on the high side. Woo! Save it, Carl Long. Save it. I feel like I barely touched him. He just lost it. No caution. We stick around. Speaking of no cautions, with about 12 to go in the first segment of the Xfinity race tonight, a car slipped up out of the groove and hit the wall. Didn't appear to have any damage. They quickly threw a caution to hopefully jumble up the field on screwed up strategies because they had such limited amounts of tires. Then, with about 3 to go in stage 2, Daniel Hemrick slams the wall. Like his tire had been coming apart, had been going down for a while. He slams the wall hard. Debris everywhere. Oh, let him race. And they finished out the segment under green. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to remember that tomorrow night when they throw a caution, because the cup race will probably be boring. And they're going to throw a caution for somebody brushing the wall. And I'm like, yeah, I'm going to remember that. Daniel Hemrick slamming the wall when they throw a caution for, you know, something like that happened in the fall race last year at Richmond when they screwed Truex over, when Derek Coate like slid out of the groove, touched the wall, kept going, and they quickly threw a caution. And then Denny Hamlin did what Denny Hamlin likes to do and just destroyed Truex after Larson got by Truex on the final restart. Really nice NASCAR. Consistency. Wow, you really had to lift there, because Chicago, I think, is just one of my better tracks. I feel comfortable here in a way that I don't feel at most mile and a half. I feel like I can let off the gas and cut guys' brakes here and still be okay. It's not like other mile and a half where it's like, I'm going to get in your fucking lane and block you and kill you for about 5 laps, and they'll spend about 10 trying to get back to my bumper, and then I'm going to do it again. You know, that shit's annoying. Camping World 20 to go. That lap was really slow. These guys are slowing me down a good bit, so I gotta put the pedal to the metal, drop the hammer, Danny. Harvick's running the dickhead line. He sees me coming. Harvick, I'll give him a compliment for once. Great job as a guest commentator on the Xfinity race tonight. Next week, the Xfinity broadcast will be Cup guys doing commentary. I'm like, good, that's where they fucking belong in the Xfinity races. They can go sit in the fucking booth. Is Clint, let's take bets on whether or not Clint Boyer's going to talk over the finish again, like he always does when he's a guest commentator. He really likes to talk over the finish. He doesn't really pay attention. I would think he's never watched a race broadcast before. He does a good job for the most part, but both times I remember him being in the booth, he just talked over the finish, and the analyst couldn't do the call of like, all right, and this guy wins, or whatever. You know, if we had a radioactive for my season I'm running this, they'd probably, holy fuck, that 9 car's fast getting into the corner. Yeah, goddamn right. I'm really glad I pitted for those tires so I can go hard at the end of this race and have fun. As we know, tires don't bother them anyway, but they bother me, so. I'm surprised at how many guys are leaving the bottom open like that and not being assholes to me. I'm very surprised. Two cars in this race have been dicks to me, and one of them was Harvick, and he was far enough ahead to where I didn't run him over like I did William Byron. Oh, he turned me! He turned me! No! Excuse me, coming through. Jimmy Johnson tried to be a dick to me. And how do they get those runs off the corner? They still get better runs off the corner than me. Jimmy Johnson probably cost me 3/10 there. I probably could have run a kick-ass lap. Clear, clear, all clear. Set sail for victory. You know what sucks? Catching lap cars in the middle of the corner. I'm glad I'm going to catch him on straightaway because I hate catching lap cars in the corners. It sucks so much ass. You get a great run and you got to be like, oh, and try to move up or slow down. This has been a fun, easy-going race for some reason. I might have to push myself here to run a higher difficulty. We're running 100 out of 105. I feel I can go to 101 here. As good as we are. I'll be the first to say I'm not the best at video games. And NASCAR games are weird for me. But I can run on higher difficulties. Not always the highest, but pretty high difficulties. Every track in this game I'm running 100 or more. All the short tracks are like 105, road courses 105, mile and a half is usually 100. Phoenix is weird, I run like 102, 103 at Phoenix, I think. It's going to be weird having Chicago, see we're running Chicago, and it's going to be weird having this race back at its old date this year, like it used to be. Man, we were fucking out of here. We'll set sail. I really hope somebody gets pissed at each other tomorrow night in the Cup race. We haven't had any of that this year. My dream scenario will be for Eric Almirola to wreck Austin Dillon, but he'll probably be so far ahead of Austin Dillon, he'll only see him when he's lapping him, so... God, just moving up past that lap car cost me like 2/10. I really hope they work on in the next game, making it easier for you to like move your line around so you don't always have to be glued on the bottom. Make the cars not so tight and shitty to drive, and also make it to where the top lane is viable. And not a death sentence. How many tires? See, it was good we hit it. Our tires will probably be like 45% right now. So pitting was the right call. Quote George W. Bush, it will be the right it was the right decision now, and it will be the right decision ever. Car feels so smooth here, especially with that wedge out of it. You know, Kyle Busch and Dale Jr. on the Dale Jr. download were talking about the COT cars from like 2008. And Kyle said, remember how tight those cars were? And Jr. said, oh yeah. And Kyle said, we were all running like 50% wedge at most. We took as much wedge out of it as we could just to get those damn things to turn because they wouldn't turn. And I saw that the default wedge settings in this game were 50%, and then you lower it to 45 and the fucker still barely turned. And I was like, damn. They were talking about running 50% wedge in the COTs just to get them to turn halfway decently. I always knew those cars looked tight, didn't they? Like, they always looked really stiff and boxy and hard to drive, so I'm not surprised that they were running such low wedge just in their default setups. Those things were like tanks. I mean, the cars we got now are about as safe as tanks, and they're wide, they're thick. That's what these Cup cars are, really thick. lengthwise, widthwise, you know, it's just a thick race car. But there's something about them COTs, man, they were just weird. They looked weird too, for obvious reasons. I really liked the COT when they put the spoiler on it and took the splitter braces off and made the splitter a little bit smaller and not as noticeable. Those were pretty slick looking race cars. They were kind of boxy, but I liked them. And they raced really well because 2011 is one of the greatest seasons in NASCAR history, in my opinion. I enjoyed that year. 2012 was really good too. And then they had to go fuck up and change the damn cars again, so bravo. Don't know why they couldn't have just modified the bodies a little bit more, just to give them some manufacturer identity like they wanted. That was the goal with the Generation 6 car that we have now. I feel like they could have done that without overhauling the whole damn thing. And remember in 2013, we were setting track records like every damn week in qualifying. The cars were so fast and unstable, you just couldn't race at a lot of tracks. It was weird. 2013, I remember being a good year. I just remember the chase was boring because Jimmy Johnson just kind of ran away with it again. You know, after the awesome 2011 and then Brad winning in 2012, we got to 2013. It's like, yep, Jimmy Johnson, boring again. Nothing against Jimmy Johnson. Like I said, I'm a fan, but I remember the chase that year being boring and, as a Dale Jr. fan, frustrating. Because Jr. had about 3 of the shittiest races imaginable to start off the chase, and then the rest of the chase, he was like top 5 almost every damn week. He gained the most points in the last 6 or 7 races of any driver in the chase that year. And it's like, oh, of course he did. And then they changed the point system in 2014 to the retarded shit we have now. And they realized, oh, Junior would have won the championship in 2013 if we'd have had this the year before. God, I lost a lot of time moving up there, but it really doesn't matter. We were fucking out of here. Cole Witt really made me go high there. He kept that ass in his car up there to make me have to go really wide to not run into him. So thanks, dumbass. If we weren't coming to the white flag, I would probably just swerve and hit you. Well, I really didn't appreciate that. Oh, it's a damn good decision we pitted. Our tires will be dead by now. White flag, 1 lap to go, sponsored by Credit One Bank. Woo! Hit the brake there to get it to turn, stick to the bottom, and it got a little squirrely on me. Dare I say it got a little bit loose there. But no car in this game is ever loose enough to where you go, oh man, I'm out of control. I don't know if I can drive it. Never happens. We win. That was easy. Daytona's next. It might be a bit of a pain in the ass depending on how the AI or my car feels that day. Perfect speed rating on a 1.5 mile racetrack. That's rare. Good race. GG. One of my better videos. We had some shit to talk about tonight. I got to do these races when I have shit to talk about, not in the middle of the week when nothing has gone on. Because, you know, the Xfinity race was just earlier tonight. Yeah, I think I can run on a little higher here than just 100. Maybe off stream I'll try 101 to start with. Because sometimes you get it to where it's like, man, this is easy. Let me turn it up 1 more. And then on 1 more, it's like fucking annoying and impossible. Or feels impossible. Nothing is impossible. Damn, we're winning a lot. Shouldn't have won Bristol. Shouldn't have won Kansas. Shouldn't have won Daytona. Got lucky at Talladega. And then we did lose Fontana, so it hasn't all been smooth sailing. Look at the bootleg Ninja Turtles. Look how shitty that looks. That looks like the bootleg Ninja Turtles you buy at like the Dollar Tree or some shit for your kids. Action Turtles or some shit. Let me bask in my victory. Woo-hoo. Why does the hot redhead monster chick look like a man in this game? She's way hotter in real life. She's gorgeous. I saw her at the racetrack last year and I was like, damn. When I went to Charlotte last year, I saw her. I said, damn. Didn't say that out loud, but I was thinking to myself, damn. Damn. So tomorrow, we'll do Daytona. Or I'll probably be up late tonight. If I get super bored late tonight, I'll do Daytona. We might do a double feature. I might do Daytona and Kentucky in the same stream. But just so you can see, we were racing on 100. So from now on, when I race to Chicago, we might go to 101. But, yeah. We look at the playoff bubble just for funsies. I like to keep track of that. Bubba Wallace is in by 4 points over Ricky. Uh-oh, Eric Jones is starting to gain momentum. I cannot have that. I'm still pissed at him over what he did to me. Playoff bubble is interesting. They wish the playoff bubble was like that interesting in real life. We're getting all them playoff points. Let's see. Truex won a stage somewhere. Brad won a stage. Johnson won a stage. Larson won a race and 2 stages. Nobody else has. We've won all the other fucking stages and races because I really should have lost Bristol and Kansas, but I was not going to put up with that and drove like a dick. But that's what I do. Anyway, I'm going to go. See you guys next time for Daytona. Should be real shitty. Should be real shitty. We might not win this next one, so hey. We'll see. Goodbye.